Hi folks, Joe Adams here. Thank y'all for joining in on this month's edition of Let's Grow Texas Ag. We're going to travel right up 59 headed toward Houston to Wharton County. 1,086 square miles of Texas. Lots of cattle, lots of livestock, all that kind of stuff. And folks, you go to talking about Wharton County, everybody knows that the nucleus of the Brahman industry runs right through the heart of Wharton County. And it's a real pleasure today to be able to take an inside look at the V8 Ranch with our good friend Jim Williams. You also get you something cold to drink, get you a soft seat. Welcome back to Let's Grow Texas Ag.
Welcome to Let's Grow Texas Ag, showcasing unique farm and ranch stories of the South Texas coastal plains. First-hand knowledge with special guests presented by our very own and well-known host, Joe Adams. Pull up a chair and enjoy as we share some of the heritage and insightful stories that have made us proud Texans. Let's Grow Texas Ag, sponsored by Shop Us John Deere.
All right, folks, welcome back to Let's Grow Texas Ag. Let's get up here and let's let old Jim Williams show us around the V8 Ranch. One thing about it, anybody that's involved in Brahman cattle, anybody's involved in the Brahman industry, the V8 name is synonymous with excellent cattle. And right here in Wharton County, basically there's so much history of the Brahman cattle that came through here. And you know, this is the heartbeat of the Brahman industry. There's some of the best Brahman cattle ranches in the world right here, and it doesn't take but just a quick glimpse down this line of show cattle right here, and you kind of see the quality you're dealing with. But a lot of great ranches in this part of the world, and we appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time to talk about the V8 Ranch and just talk about Brahman cattle history in Texas, period.
That's no problem. Well, you can see even my neighbor is a cotton farmer over here, and you know, agriculture in Wharton County is farming and cattle. Basically, that's it.
Yep.
And this is a big farmer over here, our neighbor, that looks like he's defoliating his cotton, and we're over here selling, you know, talking about Brahman cattle. But this ranch was started by a man, Mr. Howard Parker, in 1944 at Center, Texas. The way the V8 name came about is because Mr. Parker owned V8 Ford Motor Companies in Center, Texas. So when he got his cattle, the Ford was known as a V8 Ford engine. So he said, you know, I'm going to name my cattle V8 after the Ford engine, because we get that question all the time. How did you get V8? What is V8? But it came from that V8 Ford engine. And in 1971, Mr. Parker's children cared nothing about the cattle. And that's tragically, even today, a lot of times, that families build a lifetime building their ranch and cattle and land for the generations that come, and they have no interest in it. So we were at that vacation, and they called Daddy, and the man said they want to sell the ranch and the cattle. Well, my dad said, I'm not interested in the ranch, and I don't know if I can tackle the cattle, because there's a lot of money. But anyway, we did tackle it, and from then on, we've been gone. We have 4 generations here now at the ranch, 4 of us, but we go back 8 generations to the cattle and ranching and farming.
How many places have y'all shipped cattle?
Ooh. Well, right before y'all got here, I was talking to some people from the Philippines that were fixing to ship some cattle.
Yeah.
But I would say, maybe 40 different countries throughout our history. But now who's really become involved in Brahman cattle is the countries Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Bangladesh, Pakistan. All of that area over there has become really infatuated with these Brahman cattle. And there's shipments going out every Friday now for about a month, being shipped to the Philippines over there. So these cattle are known for this heat tolerance, and they're shipped all over the world. We have friends from all over the country that come all the time. We have some people coming tomorrow from Thailand, because we're going to be flushing cows tomorrow, embryo cows, and they're going to come and visit us to look at the ranch tomorrow.
What other jobs do you have? Where do you get your income from?
All of my income, everything on this ranch that you see is made from a cow.
That's it.
That's what it is. Animal agriculture is where we make this ranch work. We would like to have some oil income, but we just haven't been blessed with that, but we'd like it. Sure makes you a good rancher.
Yeah.
But everything here comes from a cow. These fences, the men that get worked here, they work here because those cattle pay for them. And that's our only income.
Yeah, you
So
say
nowadays you work 24/7 producing cattle.
yeah.
And you're selling today, what's changed things is we're selling service almost as much as we're selling product. Used to, you could sell some bulls to a man in Cotulla, Texas, or Refugio, and you didn't have to really check on him, and they were good ranchers, and they knew what they wanted to do and produce, and you had to produce them a good product where they keep coming back and buying. Repeat customers is really precious to us. But nowadays, you have so many new people that are professional people that you have to do a lot of consultation with them.
Yeah.
And they need things that would seem very simple to Joe and I, like calving a cow or getting it to nurse. They will call you and just constantly want to say, the feet are just barely sticking out.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? Do I need to take her to the vet? And I literally now with cell phones, they can take pictures and you just walk them through it. But if you don't sell them service, you're not going to survive nowadays. People want to know. They want help. They want you to sell them a product, but they want you to help them be successful with that product. These are just young bulls that we have here that we show. They're all raised on this ranch. All of our cattle, 99% of them are born and raised on this ranch. These are two young bulls that are full brothers to each other. Half brothers. They're sired by a bull called Sloan that was a 3-time international champion bull. We just had a show last week at the Kickoff Classic, and the 316 was the champion bull. He was the grand champion bull at the show. Let's walk on this side because the sun will be better for you. Y'all can just hold right there. You can see the bulls are excellent disposition. Nice bulls. Good bulls. And see what you want. Joe would tell you, in other words, you want a big loin on these cattle here. This is when you're eating those ribeye steaks. The housewife, they're cutting them right here on this tenderloin that runs down this back. So you want a lot of muscle and thickness there because that's what's called the middle meats. And the middle meats is where the big high price cuts are. The filet and the ribeye and T-bones. Then you've got down here like your rump roast and things like that here in the hind quarter. But you want good muscle and good thickness, see? That's what you want. Because you could you could put a whole rack of barbecue ribs on this bull's back and eat them.
Pretty easy.
He's got a lot of thickness and muscle, a lot of thickness. This is a bull that's a year older, about six or 7 months older. He's been champion some too for us. He's a nice bull. He's actually owned by a man in Mexico. A man in Mexico owns this bull, but we're going to keep him until he gets ready to go to Mexico. And see, these bulls are trained with that show stick. You can make them do whatever you want them to do, because they're very, very gentle. They're used to people.
Yeah, they are.
They're used to people. And see, this stick, maybe a lot of your viewers don't know about it, it's like a pacifier to them. That calms them down. And they like that stick. And now watch, he'll touch him on his back and watch him lay his back down. See how he straightened his hip out? Yes. Do you see how he straightened that, see? Yes, sir. This one will do the same thing, not as pronounced as that one. But see, he'll level his rump out. And see, you got lots of meat here. You could eat a lot of roast and stuff right there, buddy. But these are, the best cattle that we have.
Brother Jim?
Yep.
Appreciate very much sitting over here looking at show cattle. You got time to ride us around a little bit?
We'll ride and look.
All right, folks, welcome back to Let's Grow Texas Ag. Let's get up here and let's let old Jim Williams show us around the V8 ranch.
This is what we call the show barn. That's a good picture to take there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are cattle in here that are just getting trained to be like those, to be good and gentle. They've been tied up about a week is all.
Jim, you go to the people that go to like one of the stock shows and stuff and see all the cattle laid out there tied up. It just don't happen.
No.
There's a tremendous amount of work that goes into getting these cattle fit and get them ready to go to the show.
This is the most expensive thing we do right here, Bianca, because this takes a lot of labor. This feed is our most expensive production cost on this ranch is feed, to feed these cattle, these show cattle. And see, now this is an interesting concept too. Like on this heifer 907/9, that heifer is 9,979 female. We started, the branding system on this ranch started in 1944, and it started at 1 for the males and 1 for the females. So that's the 9,907th female that was born on this ranch since 1944. And we have that same number on bulls, that a bull will have that number. So since then, we've had about 19,000 head of registered Brahmans on this ranch.
Wow.
19,000.
That's cool.
In however many years that is, a lot of years. This is where that hurricane just wiped out our barn.
Yeah.
We got to get it fixed. We lost 28 trees, pecans, and 2 live oaks. That just crashed on our barn, tore it up. We've been picking up stuff forever.
Well, that's one thing pretty interesting about ranching on the Gulf Coast. You always got that to contend with about this time of year.
We always do.
The possibility or the real thing.
That's right. Cow just for a minute. Take that brindle one there. That's a cow that is a product, where both of these are. That's a product of a half Brahman, half Hereford cow. And that's the queen of the cow country, both these cows. She's, in other words, you can take that cow, she's going to live to be 15 or 16 years old, and you can breed her to any bull, and she's going to raise a top calf. And see, her number's 352, that left ear, and then in the right ear, she's already pregnant again with one of these embryo calves. So that's what you call a recipient cow. But that's what we hope, if you take that Brahman bull and put on a Hereford cow that I said was our most important customer, that commercial cow man, that's what you'll get. Now this black cow here with the brindles, she's a cow that's one of the oldest recips we have. She's a half Brahman, half Angus. That cow right there, 1140. Her name is Gwen, we call her. She's been here so long, she has a name, and she has, her number is 1140, and I'll show you her calf up there in a minute. But she's a half Brahman, half Angus. Out of these cows. And see, he's already real gentle. And it says in his ear tag, 1 means he's born January, 434 is his sire, 829/6 is his real mother, and he thinks cow 578, he thinks that's his mother. But see, from a selling standpoint, when you can do this, Bianca, and he comes up here, that's a great selling point. See, he's just as gentle as can be. Look at him. He's just as gentle as can be.
But you know, as far as in the seed stock business, the gentler they are, the better they are.
And see, even our commercial cows, a lot of people, commercial cows, would be very nervous, but ours are very gentle. And we select for that. And you want to have, if you have a gentle mother cow, the calf will be gentle like this. And if they're going to all do that, we're going to get up here and they're going to come to us. They're going to come to us. See, this is another one of these Brayford cows that we talked about with that great big fat heifer sucking her. And fact, that heifer's a full sister to the bull we were just petting. Now that's a big cow nursing a calf there. That's what you want. And see, she's already bred back again to calve March the 4th, 25. She's got another pregnancy in her, that cow.
What's been the biggest change that you've seen in the Brahman industry?
Well, this embryo transplant is a big deal, and everybody and their dog wants to buy a donor cow and transplant one.
Yeah.
And they don't know what's really going on a lot. And everybody wants to buy it. Used to, and us and Hudgens talk about it all the time, used to a person that was starting in the breed would say, I want to come buy 10 good heifers from you, Jim, or something like that. And we'd sure do it. And that's what we'd like to do. Or, you know, a man from Mexico might buy 30 of them. Well, now that same person who used to would buy 10, and he would pay, you know, $7,500 for heifers. Now he would rather buy 3 and pay $15,000 a piece and flush them. But embryo flushing is where you have what they call a donor cow, which hopefully is a superior female that's outstanding, has the qualities you like, good pedigree, all the things that you would like. You would think she would be in the top percentage of your cow herd. Well, you can take that cow and synchronize her, and you have to give her what they call some follicle stimulating hormones, FSH, for about 4 days. It's labor intensified, but you can take that cow and then breed her at 12 to 16 hours, and then 20 to 24 hours, and then 7 days later take those embryos out of that cow and put them in these recipient cows that are out here and raise those calves. Now, there's one cow, instead of having one calf per year, some cows can have 40 if you wanted to, all full brothers and sisters. So you get better calves out of your best cows, is what it amounts to. And a lot of people really like that. A lot of people really like that. Everyone today wants to have an embryo cow. But we still have cows in the pasture and breed them because that's how we're set up, you know, to do. But everybody really wants to have embryo cows, but that's what flushing is. And even now, we have female sex semen. So if you wanted to flush the cow and you didn't want any bull calves, you only wanted females, you can use, they've sorted that semen, reverse sorted it, and they run a laser. That semen is coming down through this little bitty test tube, and it's a laser light that either the male or the female semen cells, one is heavier than the other, and it divides them, and the males go over here and the female goes over here with that laser beam. Now that's high technology.
Somebody with a little more than 2 years junior college figured that out. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break, pat some of our old sponsors on the back, because we sure do appreciate that. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. Jim Williams about where he sees the Brahman industry going from here.
Did you know that Wharton County is responsible for approximately 25% of ag-related products in the Crossroads region, despite having a population of only 41,000 individuals?
All right, folks, welcome back to Let's Grow Texas Ag. And we're going to get back in the buggy with Mr. Jim Williams, and we're going to see where he thinks the Brahman industry is headed from here. What's the next 30 years?
Well, you know, I wonder, that's a great question, Joe. Where are we going to go from here? I've got fence posts over there I built, and everything when I was building it, I used big cedar fence posts. I got them from Keith Foxwell down at Yoakum. You probably know Keith.
Sure do.
And bull customer of ours and longtime friend. And I said, these cedar posts to be here when my grandkids are running this ranch. But with Houston moving out on us so much and the demand for this land, and especially land that has this trees and this type setting where it's peaceful and nice, shoot, it might be a shopping center here in 30 years. You know, it's moving that quick. So I don't know, and I hope my kids and grandkids can keep this legacy going, but I tell them, you know, if you need to do something else and you're just boxed in, I'll be dead and gone. And y'all just do what y'all think, you know, what think's the best. I can sit here, shoot, an hour and look at things or do paperwork under this tree and all these kids be up around here. Now that's living, you know? And you see the work of God's creation, what he's done, and what you hope is talking about the future, you can leave it better for the next generation than you do for yourself, and be good stewards of the land. Cost of production now is one of the biggest problems facing agriculture. Cost of doing this. Land, your vehicles, your fertilizers, your weed spray, your labor, your time. It takes a great commitment to it, and I've been blessed to have my family committed to it. Like I said, all
Four generations worth.
4 generations worth, but it's a good way to raise your kids and stuff, but it takes a lot of sacrifice and commitment, a lot of patience among the family.
And if you're looking for a 9-to-5 job, do not apply.
Not apply. Don't apply, that's right.
Jim Williams, it's been fun.
Oh yeah.
It's been fun catching up. You know, one of the things in reading some of y'all's history, something that you mentioned that your dad said. He had a saying that he taught you, or taught all of his kids, I guess, open gates and shared knowledge.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty much sums it up, isn't it?
That's right, that's right.
Well, I can tell you one thing, folks, if you're ever down around this part of the world, get a hold of Jim Williams over here at the V8 Ranch, because I can tell you one thing, kind of like Mr. Thomas used to say, come by and see why.
That's right, come by and see why.
It's a pleasure in itself to come out here.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Hope I did.
I know we did.
Enjoyed having it. Let's go get us some good Mexican food.
I tell you one thing, we need to do that. We'll be back with more Let's Grow Texas Ag right after these messages.
All right.
Maybe you know someone that should be highlighted on our program. Let us know. Submit your story ideas to crossroadstoday.com/ag.
Folks, it don't matter where in the world your travels take you. Sometimes it pays to take an exit. Get off the big highways and come on down there and find you a small town. Our friend Jim Williams brought us in here to Cuevas Restaurant right here off the square in downtown Wharton. And it's my pleasure to have Miss Mary Bell and Mr. Angel Cuevas. They're the owners, they're the proprietors of this establishment. And I can promise you this, they've been in business for 20 years. They got some of the best Mexican food that you've ever eaten in your life. And they make their own hot sauce, just like so many places. And y'all's hot sauce is wonderful.
Oh, thank you,
It is
sir.
very, very, very good.
Thank
So
you.
I would ask you to, anytime you're in Wharton, Texas, up here on the square, come by here, visit with Angel and Mary Bell. The wait staff in here, everybody in here is just friendly. They almost act like they're from Texas. It's been a pleasure to meet you fine folks. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you so much.
Don't ever pass the opportunity to get off the beaten path. Go find something that's a little bit hard to find sometimes, because the treasure awaits you. We'll see you next month on Let's Grow Texas Ag.
You've been watching Let's Grow Texas Ag. Special stories focused on the farmers, ranchers, and those who work in our agricultural industries in South Texas. Sponsored by Shop Us John Deere. Visit our website for more information and program schedules. You can stream Let's Grow Texas Ag on Crossroads Today Plus, Zeme, or YouTube.